everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-hosts Marshana, Dahlia, Spavento. We just watched, literally just watched Darcey and Stacey, season 3, episode 6. We just watched it and we're literally talking about it right now. We were live tweeting it. I hope you guys were live tweeting it as well. So we're going to jump right in. There's a lot that happened. We finally got to see the Miami Fashion Week debut of House of 11. I'm getting ahead of myself. The day before, the House of 11 team from LA arrived, which is Cherry and Conrad. Cherry is the day-to-day operations. Conrad is the guy who actually does the designs, who makes the clothes, who takes the twins' vision and turns it into actual garments you can put on your body. And the day before, they arrive in Miami and there's an issue, right? So the big issue that they have is the model size is usually a medium. No one took measurements for this. They just came out with the model size and they assumed everyone was going to be the same size, which for the most part they were. Aniko and Aspen were fine. Georgi, on the other hand, who works out a lot, is not a typical sized model. He is a bigger guy. He's more so a fitness model, if anything. So the things that they brought for him didn't fit. And then they showed them some Speedos or bikinis, and Florian and Georgi were not feeling that. And I feel you guys, that doesn't really leave a lot to the imagination. And like Georgi said, I don't want to just be walking around with everything hanging out and everybody can see what's going on down there and hope nothing doesn't pop out. You know, like, so I definitely understood where he was coming from, but this was the day before. So I feel like planning needed to be done, right? We have to take measurements. Everybody is shaped differently. And I know models are supposed to look the same and have the same size, but everyone has different measurements. And I feel like that is something that they're going to have to work on for the next runway show, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, first of all, let's just congratulate them on getting the runway show done, off to a good start, right? This is definitely Darcey and Stacey starting to finally trend in the right direction when it comes to terms of growing their business and, you know, really looking out for their own interests in a healthy way. So congratulations on that. Of course, you know, I would think like with any first major show and coming to Miami Swim Week, which is a big deal, right? I live in Florida in the Miami area. So it's a big deal. So even being able to pull that off is good, but I think as they do it more and more and more and more, they will get better because, yeah, there was some sizing, there was some issues. There's always some elements that happen behind the scenes that people would never see when they go to a fashion show. So I think it was typical of fashion shows, but I'm pretty confident, like, by the second or third show at Miami Swim Week, they're going to have it all together.
Absolutely. So like you said, we saw the show. They overnighted some stuff for Florian and Georgi to wear. Everything worked out fine. Georgi didn't really like his outfit.
I didn't either.
I didn't like it either.
No, it wasn't hitting. I'm sorry.
It was a lot different. And he said, I'm doing this to make Darcey happy. And that is a good man, Darcey, because I don't know if I would have been able to wear that in public, but he did it for you. If you didn't know if he loved you, he does. I'm telling you, I guarantee you right this second, he is in love with you. He would do anything for you because that outfit was just out of control. I saw it and I was like, Georgi, I respect you. I respect what you would do for love. There's a song, What I Wouldn't Do for Love or whatever. That was one of those things they were writing about in that song. So, all right, so let's talk about, before going back to Connecticut, Georgi has 2 surprises up his sleeve. So the first one is terrifying for me because everybody knows I can't swim. And everybody knows that open water terrifies me to the point of a heart attack. So Darcey, I feel you. When you jumped into that open water and you were having a panic attack, I was having that attack with you. That is exactly my reaction to the ocean. And I know Marshana has a complete opposite reaction to the ocean because she loves cruises and she loves open water and she lives in Florida. So open water is not an issue for her. But Darcey, I feel you 100%. Just looking out at open water and not knowing how deep it is and knowing that there's living things that would eat me swimming in it. I am 100% on the same page with you. We are like this. I totally understand. But I do think that Georgi is trying and he is doing things to make memories with you and the girls, which I think is important because a marriage and being together and being a stepfather, those memories have to be built. But Jesus Christ, Georgi, everything has to do with the ocean. And my God, I can't even.
Okay, let's everybody relax. Okay, number one, like let's just all just calm down. Okay, that's number one. I don't know how to swim officially. I would say I've been taking swimming lessons and it's good. I would not jump into open water, okay, without a life vest on. If I'm not at that point where I'm comfortable at knowing that without assistance, I can keep my head above water. Like I'm just not there yet, right? So there's a level of comfort that I think, you need to develop with the water. Okay, great. I do love cruises. I love boats. I would get on the boat. I would do
Mhm.
whatever. But, I'm going to have my life vest on there just in case. So the jumping in without the life vest, knowing that you're not, that math wasn't mathing for me. You know what I mean? But I get it. Like, she had a panic attack in the water. I probably would have as well, but I just believe in being prepared in water situations. But bottom line, right? What are we supposed to be paying attention to here? The fact that Georgi is trying to be inclusive with
Yes.
her and the girls and the family. Something again, Darcey has always said, I wanted the girl. She always tries to make these family dinner moments with these
Hmm.
men that she's dated before. So here it is. And you're not, and Darcey's not the one having to lead the charge to say, let's plan something with the girls, let's do this. He's doing it
Yes.
of his own free will and volition. So I think this is a great thing. I think we're trending in the right place. Next time, just don't jump into the water without
Or
a life.
Georgie, pick something that doesn't have to do with open water. But he
This
hit
you
the
do
he
open
did hit the
water when
mark.
you're in Miami. When you're in
Yeah.
Miami, you do open water. That's what you do.
Well, I do want to point out he hit the mark twice with Aspen because she always wanted to go deep sea fishing and she always wanted to go snorkeling. So he's hitting the mark both times with her. She's like, I'm just wondering if he's just planning things out of my head of things that I want to do off my bucket list because he's getting it right. So he's doing a good job. We did find out he charged it, but we did find out a little bit more about his plan to pay it back. He does want to open his own business. He has meetings. He has been in talks with people with rose oil, selling and
Not
distributing rose oil.
not just any rose oil. If you're not, if anyone here is not familiar with perfumes or like essential oils used in perfumes and things like that, Bulgarian rose oil, if you're buying or purchasing a perfume that has Bulgarian rose oil, it is very, very, very expensive. It's nothing to play with. So if he is Bulgarian, which we know he is, and he has
Yes.
that connection and he can bring pure essential rose oil from Bulgaria to market here in the United States, I think that would be good because I know for myself, I love perfume. I am a perfume whore, and I'm very well versed on what goes into the perfumes that I buy and things like that. And I know that Bulgarian rose oil is a big deal. So I think he's onto something good to maybe other people. It just sounds like, what's he gonna do with roses? What's he gonna do with oil? I don't understand it because they probably don't understand perfumery, the way that other people do. So I think it's a good thing. I hope it gets off the ground. But again, Darcey has complained, oh, Georgie doesn't have drive. I'm paying everything. The man has drive, okay? He's having to pivot in a pandemic, which a lot of people have had to do. The nature of his business was to go and perform a service. When you are in a service industry where you provide a service, the pandemic hit you harder, okay? Because you weren't selling or providing another form of work or employment. So I think now if he's transitioning from selling a service to selling a product that can sell online, whether he's asleep or awake, and
Mhm.
generate passive income for him, I think that does show drive and focus and being like, you know what, if I want a woman, I want to make sure I can afford a woman. Hey, I'm all
Exactly.
about that. Make sure you can afford your woman.
Exactly. And we all know success does not happen overnight. Some of the
Not at all.
biggest corporations in our country and all over the world took years to get off the ground
Yeah.
and they were in debt before they made a profit. So, Darcey, you have to remember believe in your man. He has a plan and you have to believe in him and support him, even if it takes a long time to get off the ground. A lot of women stood by their men and now it is paying off. Hopefully, you will do the same. And actually, we saw that he proposed. That was his second surprise.
Well, that was a teaser for next week. We didn't
Right.
actually see the proposal. And sidebar, back to the issue of standing by your man. A lot of women have stood by their men. I don't believe in that. No, don't stand by your man. Make sure he can take care of you. Make sure he can afford you.
Well, he give him a chance to prove
No,
it.
no, don't give him a chance. Don't give him a chance. The reason why I'm Team Georgie is because it's not as though he wasn't working and didn't have a successful career. He did. He was a massage
Mhm.
therapist. He had a job. it was a circumstance that happened while you were together during an unprecedented pandemic. And he is now having to pivot, change industry, change jobs, change careers, change lanes. That is why I am saying, Darcey, wait a minute, let's evaluate, because he's in a unique situation. Other than that, ladies, make sure if a man is talking to you, he have his money together. Make sure he can afford the lady.
Speaking of affording things, Stacey took Florian to a beautiful high-rise apartment. Blindsidedly, by the way, she didn't tell him that because she kind of sprung on him when they first got there. Like, what do you think of Miami? Do you think that we should live here? Do you think we should get married? And Florian is still waiting on his papers, by the way. He cannot work legally in this country. So we did see in a teaser that he is going to receive them soon. But he has a job offer with a friend back in Connecticut. So he wants to feel more secure before they make any big moves. This would be a huge move because it's a $5,000 a month apartment. Don't get me wrong.
Deal. That is a great deal in Miami for that kind of apartment with that level of upgrades and finishes, with that view, with 2 bedrooms, with 3.5 bathrooms in that prime area. What a deal. $5,000. Great deal.
So do you think they should jump on it right now?
And now I don't know their finances. I don't know if Stacey can carry a $5,000 apartment. So we're not, that's not for me to decide. I don't know their pockets. What I'm saying is for what they're getting in this area, really and truly, like, that is a great deal. My husband and I were watching the program, and my husband was like, really, when did they film this? This must have been filmed like over a year ago, because now in that area, that view, that kind of apartment, those level of amenities, it's more than $5,000 to live in that area. Yeah. So for, I'm not saying that my husband and I would want to live in a $5,000 apartment. We live in a very nice home, but people can do what they want. For what it is, I agree. When Stacey said for what it is, I feel like it's a good. Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to keep watching because I kind of want them to take that step and move in together in Miami and start over, because I feel like there's a lot of outside things going on in Connecticut that can get in the way of their success in their marriage. So I'm always for people starting over and getting a fresh start. And Miami is a perfect place. And she said she wants to get married there and starting his work life there. I feel like it would be a good opportunity for them. And we're going to see if Georgi and Darcey get engaged in Miami next week. So there's a lot to find out, to watch next week in Miami, and I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are ready for it next week. They did walk down the runway to the big finale, to doing it big. The girls are doing it big. Darcey and Stacey, House of 11. That's it for the podcast this week. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia Spavento. I'm George Mossey. We're going to talk to you guys next week when we see what happens with the girls. See you guys real soon.